I mean, it can really bother you. You've done the very best you can. You're trying to make it work. Like you're busting your back out there, man, just doing the very best you can. Whether you got a family or you just by yourself, you're just barely getting by, But let me tell a little bit about a story that really, I think this is a part of me that I think has made a very big difference in just if you could go back in time and remember that one moment that's exactly how you felt. And it didn't look like there was any door that was actually opening up. But, so let me just get to the story anyway. So, back in the day when you was just back in high school, you're literally, and this really predates even just some of the things that I can really be able to articulate and put it in words. But, my dad, for example, when we were growing up, I think it got to a point where when he lost his job, retrenchment and everything else that was happening, and part of our school was actually in bursary. Bursary, where I come from, it's just the kind of money that is raised to basically help you to get through the school. But anyway, past all that, and then you get to a point where you graduated high school, and now we're out here, and you're really doing your very best to sort of get a way to get a college and things like that, or just basically start your own, they call it your own hustle. Now, here's the thing. I remember days when I used to cook mandazi. It's just this round cakes that you just, you go over there, and I found somebody doing it, and I just asked them, can I help you? And then you could just give me a little bit of money to do that. Just past all that, some of the things that I remember doing just to look for ways to make a little bit of money, help my dad out, because I'm looking at myself as a firstborn son, and you're thinking to yourself, I gotta do something, man, Now, he never told us to do any of that, but here's what I'm leading with that story. I remember just moments before, I think there was a very big transformation between the kind of work that was offered at that point in time. I remember there was a little project that was called something to do with NAVIC or something like that. And all we were doing is like community service. You go out there and you collect garbage, from the streets to clean up, the neighborhood that I grew up in when the transition happened. I mean, this is a long story. I'm just trying to paraphrase it, but growing up in that kind of environment, and you're picking up the litter, and you're thinking to yourself, man, this is so bad. It looks so bad, man. Like, how am I out here trying to do all this, picking up all this garbage and all that stuff, and doing this cleanup, and eventually we actually never really got paid for that job. But it's funny though now, but looking back, that's when I actually got to meet someone, and by the way, it never really worked out for him at that time, I think, if I remember well. But when I got an opportunity to meet this person, who we were working in the same project together. That's the same thing that we were doing. But right after the project was done, about noon or something, I remember he used to disappear off at some point wearing a white t-shirt and black, slacks. And here I'm thinking to myself, why are you all dressed up? Where are you going? And he used to tell me, I'm going to a college that's going to teach us how to be professionals in the hospitality industry. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, okay, is that not another scam? And they say, no, if you want to, you can follow me one day, And I don't think those are the exact words that he used, but I think that's how he sort of kind of made me comfortable to come and follow him and go find out, what is it that you do after we're done here? Because this doesn't look like it's paying us much. What is it that you do? And then I just followed him one day, just go and check it out. Let me see if this is a real job or it's another scam like what we're doing here. Let me go find out. So I followed him, and he told me, just get a white shirt and a black pants or slacks. I remember saving up to get just that one outfit, one or two of them, white shirt. We used to go to a market in Kenya, it's called Kikomba. I bought that. We didn't have much, but when I put that outfit together, it's because I wanted to find out, can I also fit into this space? What is it that he's doing that I could also do? You know, that kind of initiative that you show. What is it that he's doing that I could also do? And probably it's gonna work out, you know? Let me just go check it out. And I did, and I followed him and I went. Long story cut short, there was a point in time where once all is said and done, you know, the classes began. It was in a hotel called Milimani Hotel, I think that's the name. And you know, just throughout the entire ordeal, being told how to carry a tray. I'd never done this before, by the way. Carry a tray, balance off even champagne flutes. Sometimes you would mess up so badly, you end up with so much breakage. I think that's what we were calling it that. And I just kept thinking to myself, how am I gonna do this? It's so bougie, you know. It just felt so bougie and out of my class and all that stuff. But we picked it up, you know. We picked up the responsibilities that we were given, food and beverage and all that stuff. I was trained in that, and I just kept going and going, day after day. Mind you, by the way, we were still going back to that old job that we were doing, you know, cleaning up the streets and all that, which we never got paid for. But then again, I still get the motivation to look for a little bit of money here. There was a car wash business that I used to jump in there and get a few cars washed up, you know, a little bit of money here, a little bit of money there. My father, sometimes he'd chip in and all that, but I didn't really want to give him all that responsibility and stuff like that. And registration, I think at that point in time was about 3,000 shillings. Back in the day, there's a lot of money, and pay for that and, you know, get the course going. It didn't look like much, but years later, if I come to think about it, that was a big turning moment in my life, because at that moment in time when that training was going on, they just kept telling us, you know what, you could actually qualify for a job in one of the most prestigious places that most people just kind of dreamt about going. This is 2005, 6, 7 there. You just dreamt about going to a place like Dubai. Now, it wasn't very developed as it is today, but Dubai was like this destination that was out of your mind, you know? You never really thought, you know, in the wildest of your dreams that this would ever come true. Now, bear in mind that as I was doing all this stuff, I wasn't very confident in myself, I think, if I think about it that way. Like, how could a guy from the ghetto, or a little boy from the ghetto, for example, like come up and then get an opportunity? I mean, we were neighbors with some of the most wanted criminals in Kenya at that point in time, just to mention, you know, the kind of background that you're growing up in. Streets weren't safe at that time. But anyway, once I digress, once all of that was done and said and done, you know, you've gotten to a point where you've now completed, I think it was about a 3-month course or something, and a lot of people had money to go to your university or a college and things like that, but it just seemed like it was such a far-fetched idea that this would ever happen. You finished your little training course here, you've been trained, and then we've got people coming as recruiters from some of the hotels that were opening at that point in time, very brand new, in a place like Dubai.